Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Continuing with the various transit videos that is happening in the month of September, Venus on 28th of September early morning will leave the sign of Cancer and enter the sign of Leo. Leo is ruled by Sun. Right now Venus is actually in a very soft sign of Moon. Venus and Moon is forming a very feminine conjunction in the sign of Cancer. But now when Venus moves into the hot, fiery sign ruled by the king himself, Venus would want to execute his ever desire to be the queen herself. Yes, Venus is represented by the feminine qualities, but this Venus in the sign of Leo behaves like a queen who rules the empire. This Venus has a very authoritarian quality and a very dominating quality. But in the transit, the Venus has a certain relationship with the four major planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu and Ketu, and we will discuss that in detail. But before that, do not forget to hit like, subscribe and share and hit the bell icon so that you never miss another update. You can follow me on Instagram for my IGTV Moon Transit videos and on Facebook for more updates. If you want to take consultation from me, you can drop me an email and the email ID is in the description box below. So let's continue with Venus transit to the sign of Leo. Venus is the planet of beauty. Venus is the planet of love, luxury, romance, expression, art and craft, lifestyle, glamour, movie industry. That Venus is now going into the hot sign of, you can say a very fiery sign of Leo. While Venus moves from the sign of Cancer to Leo, the Karka to Simha, you have to understand that it crosses the Gandanta of Ashlesha and Magha, and it reaches Magha Nakshatra, and the entire Magha Nakshatra happens to be the starting point of the Simha Rashi, the Leo zodiac sign. In the Magha Nakshatra, which has the Ketu properties, Venus would tend to quit a lot of relationships. Venus will shed off its feminine quality and will try to achieve masculine quality. Here Venus gets confused because first it is a fiery sign, so it's not suitable for Venus, which is a Jala Tattva or the water element planet. If you see, the three nakshatras which are ruled by Venus are actually in the fire sign. Now that's very different, because if you see Venus is a very peculiar planet. The properties that rishis assign to this planet is very different from what I see for the other planets. It's quite unique. Venus himself is a feminine planet, and Venus himself is a very soft, tender, polite. Bharani in the Aries nakshatra, Aries zodiac sign, then Purva Falguni nakshatra in the Leo zodiac sign, and Purva Shada nakshatra in the Sagittarius zodiac sign. Now you have to also see that when Venus moves into the sign of Leo, Venus gets aspected by Jupiter. When Venus is getting aspected by Jupiter, Jupiter is in Purva Shada Nakshatra. So definitely, Venus will dominate in this scenario. Also, if you see, the two zodiac signs ruled by Venus are Taurus and Libra, which is earth and air. Where is water? Now that is the contradiction. Venus somehow covers all the four elements. It controls earth element, it controls air element by zodiac signs. It somehow touches the fire element by placing its nakshatra in the divine trine, and he himself is a soft, tender, fiery, watery planet. And that is why you can say that Venus sees every element with the same eye. He controls, or he permeates into every element. Now such Venus, such powerful Venus, who has the Mahamrityunjay power, the power to bring back life from the dead, this Venus will find Rahu in the 10th house. Now the moment Venus enters the sign of Leo, the Magha Nakshatra Ketu energy will get activated. Where is Ketu? In Jyeshta Nakshatra in the 4th house. Immediately, Venus will find very uncomfortable, especially in relationships, especially at home front, especially the scenarios which are not common. Now you will be like, I don't want to continue this. I don't want to drag this anymore. I want to get rid of it now. This Venus would bring out the strong qualities in you, and you would want to give up the unnecessary, and you would want to take up something that you want. On a negative end, this can make you sacrifice your comfort zone, sacrifice your marriage, sacrifice your relationships, and this can create some issues in your life. So you have to observe how is Venus in your case. Next, you have to see that Rahu is 10th from Venus in the sign of Mrigashira, in the zodiac of Venus. So now Rahu is in Kendra with Shukra, so Shukra is going to make Rahu work for him. So manipulation will be a very common affair at this point of time. You will also see that in a lot of cases where Venus is highly malefic, an extramarital affair, out of marriage experiences, lust will increase, the desire to be with more than one person will also increase. This has to be checked, because if you observe carefully, Venus is placed in Leo, so the 3rd house from Venus is where Mercury is placed. So now Venus is going to use Mercury to apply brain. Now this Venus is slightly selfish, but Saturn and Mars are actually aspecting that sign of Leo. So the efforts of Venus is completely curbed by Shani. So Venus may feel like doing things by instinct, doing things what he feels like. But what will happen in this case is that immediately it will be caught in the eye of Shani, because all the efforts of Venus is directly under the aspect of Shani, and Saturn is going to then work for it. This means any kind of illegitimate relationship has to be stopped. Any kind of illegitimate affair, whether it's personal, professional, career-wise, has to be completely corrected. A lot of correction is needed, otherwise Venus, in the desire to get the throne, can create a lot of problems, controversies, unnecessary litigations can come in picture. Fire signs are not the actual sign for Venus. Venus becomes very, aggressive in this fire zodiac, especially in the sign of Leo, because Leo gives Venus a picture of the kingdom. The biggest drawback in this situation is that you may lose relationships, you may lose people, you may lose friends. Why? Because Venus aspects the natural 11th house, which is the house of Aquarius. So this is going to create a lot of, you can say, changes, issues in marriage, and some financial sectors that are controlled by Venus, like textile industry, pharmaceutical industry, media, communication, any kind of industry that is connected to movies, art and craft, need revolution. They need to find out what is incorrect and they have to correct that. Otherwise, this is going to, go into a very negative side of the life. Now, enough talking about the negative side of the Venus. Let's talk about the positive side of the Venus. This is a very good transit for the females who feel they are oppressed, because then the 4th house Ketu would want them to come out of that situation. Now remember, Venus has 10th Rahu. That means the action of Venus can be out of the world. That means the power, the pace, the jerk that is needed, the push that is needed can be given by Rahu. Ultimately, Rahu is a Daitya. It comes from the Daitya clan. He is the Deva in the planetary system, but he is actually an Asura, and Venus is the Guru of Asuras. He is Shukracharya. So what if Venus is in control? Rahu has to follow. So this Venus has the tendency to manipulate. The Venus has the tendency to change situation at will. Although this will not be a very long transit, but the biggest impact of this transit will be seen when Sun becomes debilitated in the sign of Libra, and that is where your effort should be without any jealousy, without any trace of vengeance, without any trace to malign an image or corrupt something. Because if that is done, the moment Sun goes into the sign of Scorpio, you will face a backlash from the planet Saturn. So here you have to completely apply your brain, apply your mind, and make the things as possible as you can. Utilize this strong feminine quality of Venus to actually bring the Shakti in your life. And when the Shakti comes in your life, you will see that this is going to give you a lot of positive results. This is the time when you should actually do a lot of mantra chanting. You should do Shakti Puja. You should chant Maha Durga mantra. You can chant Durga Saptashati. Or you can go to any goddess temple and pray and bow down at the feet of Ma Durga and pray for your benefit. Pray for the, you can say, the positivity of life. What best it can be that during the entire transit of Venus, which is still 23rd of October, just when the Venus is about to shift from Leo to Virgo, it's Durga Puja, it's Navratra time. That means ultimately the Venus has to see the bright side, the side of practicality. Jealousy is not an option. Putting someone into trouble is not an option. Taking vengeance is not an option. Trying to dethrone the king is not an option. Excessive lust for the power, excessive hunger for the authority is also not an option, because the planet which is in command, the Venus, is actually not the planet that controls power or authority. It controls art and craft, and if that area is taken into consideration, if the soft side of the life is taken into consideration, Leo can give lot of benefits. Leo can make it popular. Leo will be there to express, because 5th house is the natural house of expression, education. This is, if you want to divert your mind, if you're feeling if you're feeling difficult in this time frame, if your relationship, marriage is getting difficult, instead of fighting, what you should do is you should learn a musical instrument. Express yourself through poetry, music, instead of anger, because a lot of pent up anger will come, aggression will come in this time frame. If you see the position of Venus with the two other zodiac of Venus, which is Taurus and Libra, Venus is 11th from Libra, so definitely it's a gain of balance. In some cases, it will be a gain of balance through power, shift of power. In some cases, the gain of balance will be through proving yourself, showing that you are the king, you are the queen. It's like proving your self-worth, not getting oppressed, but also not letting the hunger for power sit on your head and you become ahankari. On the other hand, the sign of Taurus, which is the Dhanabhav, which is the house of food, will see Venus 4th from Taurus. Because if you go from Taurus, you will reach the sign of Leo by 4 houses. So Taurus will find comfortable. So from the security perspective, it's comfortable time frame. From the perspective of the family, it can be a comfortable time frame, or provided your Venus is positive. In case your Venus is negative, it can create a rift in the family. So you have to consider couple of areas with great precaution in this transit of Venus. Number 1, it's family life, and number 2, it's married life. Because in the Kal Purush, both the Kutumb and the Vivah is controlled by Shukra. When Shukra goes into the 5th house, you will see that the fight for children, lot of communication or abuse in family can happen, and you can be into a situation where you are being said that you cannot give birth to a child. A lot of these things happen around the world. And then what will Venus do? Venus will break the taboo. You oppress the Venus in Leo will do what you exactly tell him not to do. It will act as a rebel. So in this time frame, you need Shakti, you need Ma Durga to control and curb the situation and give you the positive outcome by making you in tune with the divine Prakriti and the Purusha. So you need to pray to the Prakriti herself and change your Prakriti to a divine person. I hope I was able to make you understand the tricky Venus placement in this time frame. We will meet in the next video when Venus goes into the sign of Virgo in this Venus transit series. You can explore my channel for all other videos and follow me on social media. But do not forget to hit like, subscribe and share and hit the bell icon so that you never miss another update. Let's meet in the next video. This is yours Puneet. Namaste.